What is volume testing? The idea of volume testing is to identify the data size the system can manage. So most of the performance testing is focusing on how many requests, what are all, how many requests it can process, what is the response time, and all those things. The one of the major parts of this, what impacts this response time and everything, is the data size. Imagine you are sending a payload of 2 KB size compared to a payload of 2 MB size. You imagine uploading text versus uploading an image versus uploading an audio versus uploading a video. So these kind of different type of files will give you a different type of memory usage. So that is what we are trying to figure out with volume testing, to identify what is our system's holdable volume, how much size it can manage. So this is again functional test. You all do all these functional tests of this different type of these files can be uploaded. But at the same time, in the performance test specific to volume test, what we do, how much we can do, even if it is 2 KB of 500 requests, or that comes into 1000 KBs, right? So in the same way, if you are sending 1 MB size of 500 requests, and then you are sending 5 MB size of 1000 requests, so how much volume it can process at the same time. So this might be different from how many requests you can send. The requests go through the API gateway, so that will have a different numbers. But when you are increasing the volume of the data you're sending, the size of the request increases, the response time also increases, because the memory need to hold this information, fractionize this 1 MB into some sub memory particles, and then they have to process this volume into the right way, how you intend to process this information. So that is what we are doing with volume testing. How do we generate this thing? In performance test in general, personally, how I would do, I would pretty much auto generate these images or videos in runtime, so that, and I put it into a pool or some location, and then my scripts will pick these files and then send one by one, or each request will pull one new file to send it to the service. What we need to identify, not only the request and response time, but also you have to look into CPU usage, memory utilization. You actually monitoring the service behavior to figure out what is your volume. So based on these processes, how much volume it holds, how much volume it processes, at what volume. Maybe we are having 4 GB RAM, and up to 3 GB it works, and then when the data size is more than 3 GB, then it starts slows down. At more than 4.5 GB, that might start failing some errors. And how much it fails, it also important, because if I'm trying to upload 100 MB video to YouTube, and then it loads for 5 minutes and then it fails and it lost the data. Oh, I don't know how much data you sent, or I don't know the video you sent. It's kind of hard. And if the consumer need to restart from the start, then it would be a problem, because how much it loads. So it's not only about sending request but also receiving request. What do you feel when YouTube play the video is 30 frames a second, but if it slower, it would be a problem, especially when you are in a gaming industry, when you are playing a game applications. Every second matters. For the users, every second matters. That is what they are paying for. They are paying for high speed connectivity. The access or the graphics or a processed, you cannot load all the graphics into consumers system, so you will be streaming some communication to the consumer system. So you have to identify what is your bottleneck, how much transit can happen at the same time. Even if it is a 4 GB, you send 2 GB of request, and then the respond back 2 GB of response, that will also hold up into this 4 GB RAM. That's how you identify what is your volume you can process at a second, and how much volume it causes errors, how much volume it causes slowness. All these identifications are identified in volume testing.